Be ready. Start. To be a witness may be equivalent to furnishing evidence in the sense of making oral or written statements, but not in the larger sense of the expression, so as to include giving of thumb impression or impression of palm or foot or fingers or specimen writing or exposing a part of the body. Furnishing evidence in the latter sense could not have been within the contemplation of the Constitution makers for the simple reason that thought they may have intended to protect an accused person from the hazards of self incrimination in the light of the English law on the subject. They could not have intended to put obstacles in the way of efficient and effective investigation into crime and of bringing criminals to justice. The taking of impressions or parts of the body of an accused person very often becomes necessary to help the investigation of a crime. It is as much necessary to protect an accused person against being compelled to incriminate himself as to arm the agents of law and the law courts with legitimate powers to bring offenders to justice. In support of the above assertion, this court referred to Section 5 of the Prisoners Act, which allows measurements and photographs of an accused to be taken, and Section 6 thereof, which states that if anyone resists taking of measurements and photographs, all necessary means to secure the taking of the same could be used. This court also referred to Section 73 of the Indian Evidence Act, which authorizes the court to permit the taking of finger impression or specimen handwriting or signature of a person present in the court if necessary for the purpose of comparison. This court observed that self incrimination must mean conveying information based upon the personal knowledge of the person giving the information and cannot include merely the mechanical process of producing documents in court, which may throw a light on any of the points in controversy, but which do not contain any statement of the accused based on his personal knowledge. Example was cited of an accused who may be in possession of a document which is in his writing or which contains his signature or his thumb impression. It was observed that production of such document with a view to comparison of the writing or the signature or the impression of the accused is not the statement of an accused person, which can be said to be of the nature of a personal testimony. When an accused person is called upon by the court or any other authority holding an investigation to give his finger impression or signature or a specimen of his handwriting, he is not giving any testimony of the nature of a personal testimony. The giving of a personal testimony must depend upon his volition. He can make any kind of statement or may refuse to make any statement, but his finger impressions or his handwriting, in spite of efforts at concealing the true nature of it by dissimulation, cannot change their intrinsic character. Thus, the giving of finger impressions or of specimen writing or of signatures by an accused person, though it may amount to furnishing evidence in the larger sense, is not included within the expression to be a witness. The next question which needs to be answered is whether there is any provision in the code or in any other law under which a magistrate can authorize the investigating agency to record voice sample of a person accused of an offense. Counsel are ad idem on the point that there is no specific provision either in the code or in any other law in that behalf. In its 87th report, the Law Commission suggested that the Prisoners Act should be amended inter alia to include voice sample within the ambit of Section 5 thereof. Parliament, however, has not amended the Prisoners Act in pursuance to the recommendation of the Law Commission, nor is the code amended to add any such provision therein. Resultantly, there is no specific legal provision under which such a direction can be given. It is therefore necessary to see whether such power can be read into in any of the available provisions of law. A careful study of the relevant provisions of the code and other relevant statutes discloses a scheme which aims at strengthening the hands of the investigator. Section 53, Section 54A, Section 311A of the Code, Section 73 of the Evidence Act, and the Prisoners Act, to which I shall soon refer, reflect Parliament's efforts in that behalf. This court clarified that to be a witness is not equivalent to furnishing evidence in the larger sense of the expression, so as to include giving of thumb impression or impression of palm or foot or fingers. Thank you.